I'm convinced that this airplane is made of magic because this thing is extremely easy to fly and it can make anybody look like a pro. And I mean that. I've seen almost all of my friends pick this up and fly it well. Abby has flown it and flies it very well. I consider it an everyday casual flyer, and I love it because of the size of the plane. You can put it in the car and take it just about anywhere. It comes in a travel case. It's extremely easy to assemble. It takes about 5 minutes of just clipping some things together. And it's made out of extremely durable, pliable foam that you would not think would be as durable as it is. You've seen this on the channel before if you're amazing and are a subscriber, and that is for a reason that you're seeing it back on the channel now. This thing has 6 amazingly intelligent flight modes, and like I said, it can make anyone look like a pro. So let's put this in the air and have some fun.
Reading the instructions.
So it does come with actually really nice instructions, but it also comes with this really nice transmitter. This is what I want to see companies like Spectrum doing. This is very much like a video game controller, which means we are very used to that because, let's face it, the hobby isn't growing as fast as it used to because of things like video games. And I think if we implemented more video game controllers, it'd make the hobby more fun. Even the little shoulder buttons are really reminiscent of video game controllers. That's included. This is all under $200, and it even comes with the charger and 2 batteries for the airplane. This has a brushless motor. It's just...
They yelling because they knew who we were?
I think so. That's funny. There's like one car that drives by here a day, and that car was yelling out the window because they knew who we were. Listen, I have seen this plane on so many Facebook groups lately calling it the best plane ever made. I thought it was time to revisit it. So here we go. Let's take off. Oh yeah. So right now we're in the most basic stabilized mode. You don't really need much throttle to fly this. This is where anybody could fly this plane. It's a nice slow flyer, not intimidating at all. I'm about going as basically as slow as possible. And you just use the left stick, you set the throttle almost halfway up. There's about halfway, and then you just steer with the right stick. A little left, a little right.
Where are you going? Oh, there you are.
Little more throttle. Just wanted to show you guys, it doesn't take much input. It's very stable and easy to fly. Now this one I haven't trimmed up or anything because I actually did get myself a brand new one. My old one probably has 100 flights on it, and Abby's flown it, other people have flown it. It's just getting a little bit beat up. So I thought it'd be really cool to pick up a new fresh one, and that's what I have. Yeah, all right, so Abby is telling me to stay over here. Okay, let's try the next flight mode. We're gonna go right there in the middle. It allows us to do things like this. It's not stabilized, but it does have a little bit of cushion, which kind of softens things like the wind. If we get a gust of wind, it's not going to knock it out of control, but I can do really wild rolls. I can loop it if I want to in this flight mode. If anyone that's really into the hobby knows what I'm talking about, this is the AS3X equivalent. So it just kind of keeps it a little bit stable, but not like in safe mode and super balanced mode. You can also fly it and hover it and stuff like this in this flight mode too, which is really impressive that you have like an assisted flight mode and you can do things like hovering. Look at that, isn't that so cool? Okay, so let's try the next flight mode. I am a little on the tail heavy side.
No one likes a tail heavy plane.
You know what? There's no one likes tail heavy. Here we go, and right into full manual mode. This should let us do really just about whatever we want to. So Abby, I'm gonna let you ask the question.
Will it snap?
Let's go for it. Oh yeah, look at that, that's awesome. You know, and actually this plane, when I'm talking about tail heavy stuff, you want it to be a little bit tail heavy so you can do maneuvers like this. So full manual flight mode, you're in total control with no computer helping you or telling you what to do. You can get pretty wild with it. And that's cool that they have that. So let's go back into full stabilized mode. So now we can't flip the plane upside down. It's just going to fly around like a nice normal little airplane. But if we throw the left switch all the way up, let me get the plane in a good position for this. Okay, here we go. All the way up. We should go, yep, vertical mode. So we're basically in all-out drone mode right now. So it's, oh, we might crash. Okay, it doesn't like wind, I can tell you that, but it flies like a drone would, so, or a helicopter. If you're in this mode, all you have to worry about is moving the plane around the same way you would control a drone. So it's totally different controls, but if you are a drone flyer, then this should be pretty familiar to you. Let's try to rotate it around so you guys can see the cool part of the plane. Now that's just really cool that it is, that might have been like a timer, or it might be letting me know that I have a low battery. I'm not exactly sure. So let's try the other flight modes really fast. Yeah, I think that's our telemetry telling us we have a low battery. So let's go up to this mode. So we're still in vertical mode, but it lets us do a little bit more wild stuff. And then if I go all the way up into this flight mode, look at that. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I've never tried this flight mode with that. It like locks in. If I pick a direction, it locked it in and it just kept doing this like auto pirouette thing. So let's go back into airplane mode. That was actually really cool. And I do like this beep that it emits because it's not an obnoxious beep. Radio Link released an airplane. It was a little jet, and unfortunately they just had, when the battery was low, it was a horribly loud beep, which I was not a fan of. I think that was a low battery beep to let me know the voltage was getting low, because now that I've backed off of the throttle some, the beeping has stopped. So this is just a very, very, very well-rounded little airplane that can make anybody look like a pro. It does help to have some experience flying, but if you wanted to, and I wouldn't say this about a lot of planes like this, as long as you're patient with it and you took the time to learn a thing or two, you could make this your very first airplane. I'm doing all of this right now in completely stabilized mode. We can even pull up on the elevator really hard and get it to do a little bit of hovering in total stabilized mode. It's very intuitive on the controls in this flight mode, and it helps people get their feet wet with a 3D flat foamy airplane. I'm saying a person could make this their first airplane, but I'd like to strongly recommend this be a second airplane if you've tried airplanes before, like Gushing warbirds, and then you can get into the world of 3D flying with something like this. Let's land it. Yeah, awesome. Very, very well-rounded airplane. Ever since the first time this plane made it on the channel, I was hooked and a huge fan. And honestly, this thing may have made it to the channel more than any other plane, just because I think it is appealing to so many people. Anyone can pick up this controller and relate to it and have a good time flying it. If you want total beginner mode, you want your left switch to be in the full down position and the right switch to be in the full down position or toward the bottom of the controller. To do the vertical flight mode, you take the left switch all the way up. The middle position on that does nothing. So airplane mode is all the way down, and kind of helicopter drone mode is all the way up. Then this is like beginner, intermediate, and advanced in both of those modes. I think that's the best way to think about that. The instructions do a good job at telling you how to do it though. And that's rechargeable batteries. And again, this has 2 rechargeable batteries as well. I'm a huge fan of Radio Link. I like them just because they try to do different things. They kind of made a good name for themselves in the airplane world, I think because whoever owns or works at in a higher up position at Radio Link just likes airplanes. So they did this. And then I think after like the 3rd or 4th video we did of this previous years, I said something like, I wish Radio Link would do more airplanes. And lo and behold, they were working on more airplanes. I don't know if what I said had anything to do with it, but they came out with some more planes. They did like a flat jet, and it was okay. It performed extremely well, but it just had some beeping problems. Then they also did this crazy purple UFO, and I actually love that airplane. I hope to see more from Radio Link, and one of the best ways to support a company that's doing different things is to buy what they have that's already good. It lets them know that you're supporting them. So this is linked in the description box below if you want to support our channel and our family at no extra cost to you. Also, ironically, and I think we should point this out, hold on.
Nate's been going through a matching phase when he goes out and flies.
I even matched the planes today. There's something wrong with me. Totally accidental. We tried to double down today and record 2 videos just to be a little bit more efficient. And I had no idea, but look at that. Look at the matchingness of all of this. And the irony, this is the thing I wanted to tell you. This plane actually comes with like 6 spare propellers because propellers cost companies almost nothing. And I think this plane would benefit from having at least 1 spare propeller in there, because the odds of you breaking this prop, I've never broken a prop, knock on wood, on this airplane, on my old version or this one. But you know, that was only my 2nd flight of this one and it snapped. But you know, it did go over 100 miles an hour, so I do have to give it that. It's a good airplane. It'd be nice to see spare props on some planes that need them. It also comes with like 10, now you might think it's crazy, but this is held on with a rubber band. And just because I thought mine was a little loose, I actually did a little twist maneuver just to make it a bit tighter. I think it's fine the way it was, but I just wanted that to be tightened up. So just to let you know, that worked pretty good, but they include some spare parts, which is nice. This was a lot of fun to get out and fly on this absolutely beautiful evening. At least there was no wind, although we do have bad weather coming, so my heart goes out to anyone that's experiencing bad weather. But regardless, I'm grateful to God for the good days and the bad and every day in between. I want to say a massive thanks to our Patreon supporters as well, because we couldn't do what we do as often as we do it without your insanely awesome support. I've got a ton of videos of this thing on the channel, so if this video wasn't enough to convince you that this plane belongs in your collection, we'll have another hand-picked video popping up right about now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.
Bye.